Hello, namaste, and welcome to your 15-minute guided meditation and morning movement wake-up flow. My name is Maria. I will be guiding you through this short moving flow, and then we'll wrap up with a meditation at the end to help us get grounded and get started on your day. Today is day 30, the last day of Wake Up with Yoga 30-Day Yoga Challenge. If you're new here, please feel free to do this video without it. But if you're also interested, look at the details that I've linked below that talk about the 30 days and how to get started with it. We'll begin today's yoga flow, yoga class in a child's pose. So bring your knees as wide as the mat and bring your toes to touch. If that's uncomfortable for you, feel free to bring your knees together or take whatever variation you prefer. Option, take the elbows wide here, a slight bend in the elbows, and maybe bring your hands to stack on top of one another to help open up through the shoulders here. We'll take a few minutes to just connect with our breath. Start to notice and observe your breath. Let that breath travel through your body and maybe feel the sensations. Notice where it's traveling. Start to soften through areas of the body that might have tension or where you might be holding on. Maybe set an intention for today's practice or for your day. Maybe become more aware. Bring that intention into this yoga flow. So whatever that intention is for you, apply it to this yoga flow. Take whatever variations or changes that you need to apply to your intention. When you're ready, start to walk your hands back towards your ears, towards your head, and then lift your hips off of your heels, coming into a tabletop position. Bring your knees underneath your hips, and then your wrists underneath your shoulders. From here, we'll tuck the toes under. Inhale to lift the knees gently. Lift the knees. Hold here. Stay strong. Push away from the mat. And exhale for downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet here as you start to get settled in and warmed up. Push away from the mat. Ears are by your biceps. Inner elbows are rotating towards the front of the mat. Ground down through all 10 knuckles, especially that pointer finger knuckle and thumb. Shake your head yes, shake your head no, just small movements. Inhale and exhale to slowly walk your feet up to meet the back of your mat, keeping your knees bent here as much as you need to. Forward fold. Let your head relax down to the ground. Let it relax with gravity. Option to hold opposite elbows for ragdoll and maybe move a little bit from side to side, but keeping that movement small. When you're ready, start to roll up, first through the knees, then the hips, then the upper back, and lastly the chin. Coming into a mountain pose, rotate the palms to face towards the front of the mat. Spread your fingers, spread your toes wide. Ground down through all four corners of your feet. Suck up the mat through the arches of your feet so you're finding maybe that internal rotation. Rotate your inner thighs towards one another as well. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, soften through the belly. Inhale, reach the crown of the head up towards the sky. And exhale to relax the shoulders away from the ears. Taking a few moments to feel the earth beneath your feet. Feel any energy moving through you. And once again, connecting to your breath. Option to close the eyes here. On your next inhale, lift your arms up above overhead. Bring your toes slightly together and bring your heels slightly apart, or keep your feet at hip width apart as we bend into this chair pose. So bend at your knees and then send your sits bones back into an imaginary chair. You can keep this chair high for today or feel free to sink into it. On the inhale, lift your chest a little bit away from your thighs. On the exhale, bend into your hips a little bit more. Inhale to straighten out through the legs. A little bit more. Inhale to reach up with the arms, and exhale to fold over your legs, bend at the hips, and return to a forward fold. Plant the hands. Tiptoe the feet out a little wider than hip width apart so your toes are facing out towards the mat, and maybe bring your heels in a little bit, so finding maybe around a 45-degree or less of an angle with your feet. Start to sink your hips as you bend your knees and slowly bring your hips towards the ground, coming into a Malasana garland pose. Stay here for just a moment. Feel free to just keep moving with your knees back and forth. Your heels can be lifted here, but we'll take one breath cycle to come in to a full Malasana, whatever variation you prefer. Inhale, reach the crown of the head up towards the sky. And exhale to release your hands back down to the ground. Sit your sits bones onto the ground, release your feet, and bring the soles of your feet to touch out in front of you. Maybe create a little bit of space between your hips and your feet. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the sky. Exhale, let your knees fall wide to either side of the mat. No need for your knees to touch the ground here. And then maybe start to crawl your fingertips forward so that your chest or your torso starts to come over the soles of your feet. Option to just stay here, a little bit of a bend, and bring your hands to the inside soles of your feet and start to massage your feet just a little bit. Pressing into some pressure points or areas that might feel tight or tender or maybe not used. On your next inhale, walk your hands back up, lift your torso so that stack your torso on top of your hips, bring your hands to the outsides of your knees, and bring your knees in together to touch. Scoot your hips towards your heels, and then gently roll yourself all the way down onto the mat. Snuggle the shoulder blades underneath your heart space, and release your legs onto the ground. Let them relax. You always have the option to do a constructive supine here with the knees bent, the soles of the feet on the ground, soles of the feet wide, and letting the knees fall in. Otherwise, we'll just come into whatever Shavasana or variation that you prefer. Rotate the palms to face upwards towards the sky. Let your shoulders roll open. Maybe slight opening, slight bend through the low back. Start to return to your breathing again, to your natural breathing. And we'll take a couple of minutes here to do a quick meditation. Your arms are at your sides or a little bit farther away from your body. Palms face up, shoulder blades underneath your heart space. Bringing your attention back into your body, back into this moment and this practice, and then back into your intention. Bringing that intention onto you, bringing that intention with you. Start to relax the body, let the body completely melt onto the mat or onto the ground. And slowly start to scan the body mentally for any physical sensations, starting with the toes. And when you scan, as you go over them or once you're finished with them, bring a softness as you leave. a softness that brings relaxation to those areas of the body, moving up through your ankles, your knees, thighs, and continue on your own, just silently, mentally, physically scanning your entire body. As always, feel free to pause the video if you'd like to stay here a little longer, or in certain poses a little longer. When you're ready to come out of it, wiggle your fingers and your toes, come back to this physical world, this physical sensations that are here. Roll on to one side, slowly, and gently push yourself back up with your top hand. Thank you so much for joining me today, yogis, for today's last day of 30 Days Wake Up with Yoga. I hope that this short 15-minute yoga flow helped kind of put together what a full yoga flow might seem like for you. So anywhere from several minutes to a small meditation in the beginning to a yoga flow with poses that you move through in the middle, and then a little bit of time at the end with a savasana or a short meditation to help you finish it off. So it's all practice. Meditations are a great thing to incorporate into your yoga practice if you haven't already. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this 30 days of yoga worked out well for you, whether you did them every once in a while or whether this helped you just kind of get a morning routine ready and stuck to it. Please feel free to share this video with anyone who you think might enjoy it. If you like this video yourself, give it a thumbs up. Let me know how it went for you in the comments. I love hearing about your experiences with it. And then last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's how we keep this yoga free on here. That's how I'm able to support a lot of this, is by getting people to subscribe. So it's free and I come out with new yoga videos every single Sunday. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications. I hope to see you on the next video.